Hello, welcome to JIBRIN Angle on Wileke TV. My name is JIBRIN, and this is my angle. Once again, thank you for joining me on this monologue. You can't believe what I'm going to show you right now. I think let's watch the video and see what I'm. Thereafter, I'll come back and talk about it.
This report tells us how to cut waste, cut red tape, streamline the bureaucracy, change procurement rules, change the personnel rules, and create a government that works better and costs less.
By paying for these plans first with cuts in government waste and efficiency, second with cuts, not gimmicks, in government spending.
We'll prove that we can spend the money we have in an appropriate way and stop wasting so much of it.
But over the next several months, we will be looking at every other agency and program, asking the direct question, do we really need this agency? Do we really need this program?
20 years into a period in our history where most American wage earners are working longer work weeks for stagnant wages. It is outrageous for the government to have rules and regulations which take those people's money from them and spend it on things that cannot be justified.
One of the commitments that I made to the American people was that we would do a better job here in Washington in rooting out wasteful spending.
For God's sake, this is the height of hypocrisy. This is what I hate about politicians. They are the worst of all hypocrites. That is just the reality. Now, for those of you who have been following the US politics, you understand that everyone you just heard their voice there. Everyone, you heard his voice. Yeah, they're all his actually, no single female. They are all Democrat leaders. The entire leadership of Democrat Party in the US. All they said there was actually about exactly what Donald Trump is doing right now. They advocated, they preached, they projected, they threatened to cut waste in government, wasteful spending, wasteful anything that has to do with waste. That is what you had them from Bill Clinton to Obama to Democrat leaders to Vice President Dick Cheney. No, is it Dick Cheney? No, that wasn't Dick Cheney. Because all of them are Democrats, actually. Everyone that spoke there are Democrats. They call Democrat Party leadership. They spoke. And for years upon years, you can imagine the thing started from, I think, around early 90s, from the era of Bill Clinton. They started advocating, threatening, preaching, talking about cutting down the government, the size of the government, the size of the cutting down wastes, cutting down costs of governance. But what do we have today? The same people, the same set of people, the same Democrats are the ones protesting against what Trump is doing today. What is Trump doing today? Trump is actually cutting down waste, trying to cut down waste, trying to streamline and trim the government down, trying to shrink the cost of governance. That's exactly what Trump is doing. He's doing it. In fact, right now, so many things have been discovered. A whole lot of fraud, not just incompetence. This thing is gone beyond incompetence. These are deliberate fraud, deliberate kickbacks. These are what Donald Trump is unraveling, is unearthing right now, can be likened to what is actually happening in Africa and in Nigeria, my own country, to be precise. That is you can't believe it. It's not surprising to me. Honestly, this is no surprise to me. I've always said it, even on this platform, that US have always had, and for years, I've always talked about this issue of double standard. In the case of US, they always behave. US as a country always behave as holy, like someone that is holier than everyone. A country holier than every other country. But here we are today. Donald Trump, honestly, He's because he's not part of the establishment. He's not part of the corruption. He is the outsider. And that has come to roughen all establishment feathers that have come in to actually drain the swamp. That's exactly what he's doing right now. There are so many discoveries that Trump is actually showing to the public, and which through Elon Musk, which is mind-boggling. Honestly, some of them just came out a few minutes ago that even Trump himself made a list of them about Social Security Administration. You can imagine how many billions. I was told what we heard from report, right? From report and through Trump, as Donald Trump, is that about 70 billion, is it between 70 something billion, almost $80 billion in 1 year was found to be fraudulent. $80 billion payment to Social Security recipients. And these Social Security recipients are just phantom recipients. They are fictitious recipients that do not exist. That is just, you can imagine this kind of corruption going on in US. What else do you call this? Of course, these are massive kickbacks. All these payments are not paid for besides, some of these payments are listed for ridiculous things that doesn't make sense. Higher rate than normal. Higher insensibility than normal. Not to talk of, even at that, this money, these funds are not actually did not actually get to the recipients of the amount of the program. That is just of the targeted spending. That is just the reality. You can imagine this is happening in the US. Now, this is the height of, like I said earlier, the height of hypocrisy. These people, it means that all these years, over 2 decades, almost 3 decades now, that they've been advocating, threatening, preaching cuts, and preaching reducing size in governance, cost of governance, reducing budget, reduce all these years they've been saying all this. It obviously means that, or meant that they did not mean it. Because what they are doing right now, they are fighting tooth and nail against Trump, what Trump is about, what he is doing right now, for what they have been preaching, asking for, requesting for, prompting for so many years, for almost 3 decades. Now, someone who has the balls to do it, who has the guts and the boldness, the courage to do it, is doing it right now. But the same people who have been raining rhetorics over the years are now the ones against what they have been preaching, they have been desiring, craving to do for years. What an irony, what a contradiction. It obviously means just one thing. That's exactly what I said. That these people are corrupt. They were only advancing it then for their political reason, for people to just, for hypocritical reason, for them to project an image of themselves of being being credible leaders, being sincere, being truthful. That is exactly the purpose they did that. And now they are fighting tooth and nail because they are truly, even so, they have been corrupt. And they are corrupt. That is why they are fighting tooth and nail against it, against what they preached over the years. They are fighting for it for Trump to stop getting it out to the public. Unfortunately for them, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Trump is doubling down. I love this man. I love the fire in this man. I love the temerity in him. I love the radical, the nonchalant, I don't care whose ox is God attitude. Honestly, this man is the greatest president US ever had. No president ever had the courage to actually face and dismantle the establishment. No one, not even Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan does not. Honestly, in my own judgment, Donald Trump has a kind of outweighed Donald, what's his name? Ronald Reagan. Donald Trump should be the model, the reference point right now, moving forward. Even here, even when he is no more, he should be the reference, just as people, as conservatives have been giving positive reference to Ronald Reagan as the icon of the Republican Party. Honestly, in my own judgment, in that objective judgment for that, at that, Donald Trump has outstaged Ronald Reagan because he has done what Ronald Reagan never got close to doing, which is actually daring to dismantle. And that's exactly what he's dismantling the establishment, piece upon piece, joint upon joint, line upon line, just dismantling them, crippling them, line after line. And that is just that in the next 1 or 2 years, by the end of about 2 years, honestly, Donald Trump must have cleaned out the system. We are expecting serious cleanup in the Justice Department. Cleanup in there. Okay, when I say justice, but including FBI and the security, okay, I think they are both a little bit different. The FBI is the security department. Then the other one is justice. Justice Department is, but incidentally, they are under, FBI is under Justice Department. So we're expecting cleanup there. We're expecting cleanup in the military. We're expecting cleanup at the IRS. We're cleanup in key agencies, including transportation department. So that is exactly this man has done and is doing even more of what these people wanted to. But here we are. They just want to eliminate him at all costs. It is so sad. What a hypocrisy. This is one thing bad about this is one thing why I hate politicians, because they are no truthfulness, no sincerity in their DNA. Anything and everything they do in the public, an average politician live double lives. The public life, and they live a different life from what they show us in the public, what they project to us in the public. Double standard. They smile outside, and the moment they turn their face or whatever off the camera, they frown. They become a different thing entirely. They are all evil. That is the life of a politician. This is why I just don't like I don't like politics. I don't like politicians. Because the profession, if I may use that word, if it's a profession, the profession actually encourages them to lie to the public. That is just it. To say what they don't mean, and to mean what they do, to say what they do not mean. I think, yeah, that is it. It is so sad. It's so sad. Honestly, I don't know how these people can actually see and hear what they said in the past compared to what their actions right now against Donald Trump. It is so sad. So sad that this is the US. The US that wanted the other part of the world to view them as a model. US that have actually intervened in different multiple democracies to teach them, to tell them how to live their lives, to impose on them their own so-called US values, fake values. They are not different from the African countries that are as corrupt. They are as corrupt as the African countries. It is so sad. Kudos to Donald Trump that is just doing this. And that is exactly what he's trying to do. But these guys just don't want to give him a British space to do the right thing, to actually get US on track, get US back on track if they were ever on track. Because I've always viewed US as a hypocritical, double standard country, even though I am part of them right now. So that is who I am. I criticize even my own parents. I can criticize them if they do the wrong. That's who I am. I am part of the US system. There is no doubt about that. But it doesn't stop me from criticizing them. If I were in government, I would criticize the government that I serve. And that is who I am. That's my nature. It's in my DNA to criticize anybody and everybody, no matter no matter how close they are to me. I criticize my friends, I criticize my enemy, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So I've always viewed the US as a double standard country from beginning. I don't know dated by whether it's about how far, but I've always viewed them for so many years. And that is just it. But thank God for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is trying to actually mold the US into what they falsely projected to the world. It is now that Donald Trump is exactly what Donald Trump is actually trying to make the US what the US falsely projected, the image that they falsely projected to the world. This is Donald Trump wants to really, really, in truth and in sincerity, bring US into that image. Look at, for God's sake, under the Democrat Party, especially during the immediate past, the Joe Biden, US, the whole thing started from the derailment, the depravity, the moral depravity, and the decadence in the society started from the era of. It became even worse. What's his name? Barack Obama was the one who actually kind of laid the deeper foundation for this, unfortunately. And during the Joe Biden era, it became very, thank God for Donald Trump. If God hadn't brought back Donald Trump to truncate the plans and purposes of the Democrat leftists, honestly, I said it earlier. I've said it even far before the election, that if Donald Trump does not come back as a president, we should forget about the pride and the integrity of the US. And at that point, it will be irredeemable. China would have overtaken completely. The US would have lost its entire respect globally. But thank God, God did not allow them to continue with that madness. Hence, we have Donald Trump that is really, really, really rattling the entire swamp. The swamp, they are just on the run, on their heels. They've not even seen anything yet. This is just morning.